Hey, we are live. Hello, everybody.
I can tell because I'm breathing.
I am breathing. All right. You know what? Hello, everybody. We are back. It's Phil and Oscar. We just we're trying to share something here with you, and then it didn't want to happen. So
Because it's 2020. So
it's 2020, man. But welcome to Phil and Oscar on the Focus on You. And today, of course, we're going to be talking about voting again. So because
voting again, that's a Chicago thing. Vote
is
early,
this
vote often.
a Chicago thing?
Yeah, you vote early and you vote often.
Yeah, well, we all need to participate in that. But we have a couple videos that we wanted to show you. You have your video as well today?
I have like several of them. I can pop them up. Actually, I'm not going to go with one video. I'm going to
Okay.
go with one website where the
Okay.
videos live, so people can pick and choose.
All right. So yeah, you could do yours first today because I did mine first the other day, and we'll talk about that. And then we want to talk to you about the programs that we have coming up. So for this week and for next week, and just really want to share that with you. So you know, so you can be more informed about what's going on out there as far as registration, things like that. Some great information that we want to share with you on today's program. So welcome everyone, and let's get started here. Uh, let me show them this first here. Look at this. Looky here.
Are you going to do the intro first?
Yeah, I want to show them that. Let's see how that let's see if that's going to work for me now. Share. All right. Do you see that?
I see a living room.
And do you still see the living room?
Nope. Now I see the
Now you see the intro.
now I see the intro.
All right, there we go.
Hit the music. Doo-doo-doo.
And we're running. Right. That is our intro for the day. Booyah. Do you have your video ready?
I don't have a video. I have the website.
Oh yeah, okay. Go
So
for
I
it.
shall. What I'll do is open here, share screen. Bum, 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 bum. And I'll share.
Why do white Christians vote Republican? And
Is that you?
No, you go. Yeah, go ahead.
All right, I'm sharing, I think.
Yeah, you are. You are sharing.
Wonderful. All right, so this is a website called Represent Us. One of the things I like about them is they're pretty down the middle, which is there's corruption in the way our politicians do their job. They are able to get money from big corporations to fund laws that will benefit the big corporation and not the little people like us. And that has been the problem, since voting began and big money started entering the system. And the video I played last time was "Corruption is Legal in America." The next one is here's a plan to fix it, and you can watch that on your own. And that is one of the things that is my biggest concern is, not only that, okay, we need to vote, but who are we voting for? Are we voting for people that are looking out for our best interest, the voters, or are we voting for people that are looking out for their own best interests, which is how to be reelected and how to line their pockets after they leave politics? That is the big question in my head. Who are you benefiting by these laws? And as we talked about, I wish you guys were in on the conversation Phil and I had before we started, and it was fun. Um, you know, how do we elect our politicians and keep them accountable to us once that big money comes in? So even if we have a third party, what were you saying, Phil? If we have a third party candidate come in, what's going to happen?
Well, listen, if a third party, now here's the thing, right? The country has always had the Republican and Democratic Party as its base. So introducing a third party right now, I think would be extremely difficult. Extremely difficult. So it's a matter of influencing the parties that you have.
And how do we do that when the dark money is in there funding their campaigns?
Well, my personal belief is money is money. If the people can organize to fund their own government, in that way, and fund the person that they would like to see in power, then I believe that would be a better route to take than to try to add another party to the system. I mean, it's a democratic system, so it should have multiple choices, but as of how things are going right now, it's a matter of who has the money makes the decisions. But I don't think you're ever going to change that, because that is how almost every society runs.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is true. So my thing is how to hold these people accountable. One of the things we talked about.
That's the big question.
Right. One of the things we talked about is follow the money.
Right.
Every dollar should be accounted for. Every dollar you should know where that dollar came from. And there should be some way to trace. Company A gives candidate A $10 million in funding, and then candidate A gives, really good legal breaks to company A.
Mm-hmm.
I think that should be public information, unless it is, and I don't know about it. And that's why they call it dark money. You don't know where that money's coming from.
I believe there's public information as to who is funding who, but no information as to how much they're funding them.
And then the follow-up to that, like, you funded candidate A, and all of a sudden, all these great tax breaks come your way.
Right.
And, all these, very lucrative deals come your way. And all these, a government needs to spend money on something. All of a sudden, that company gets the government contract.
Wow.
So, there should be some accountability. Also, term limits across the board for everybody. Term limits should be a given. And what I say last time, politicians and diapers
should be changed often.
For the same reason.
I remember that.
So I'm looking at pages like this, Represent Us, that put videos up that say, hey, this is the way it is, but can we continue going like this without some sort of somebody holding somebody accountable? That's my part.
Yeah, accountability is a great thing, but here we're going to give you a few reasons why it's important to use the power of your vote. This is like, even though not everybody has their feeling about this, because some people feel as if their vote doesn't count. But there's just too much evidence out there to prove that, when you do vote, it has an effect. It does have an effect. It doesn't have as much effect as the people who are funding, because they have a voice, they have an influential voice in the sense of what is being put on the floor, on government floor, to be voted on and things like that. Which again, if the people that vote these government officials in use their voice and organize and plan, they can also have that influence as well, right? Because I mean, look, there are billions of people, there are the millions and millions of people in America here. Is just that we are, because we have all a different opinion as to who should be doing what, we don't organize. So it's the 1% that makes that decision. Whereas if socially, all of us, all the people in the United States can say, well, you know what, we want to have we don't just want to vote you in, but we want to vote you in and have a say as to what goes, on the table and what gets voted in. Just like you showed in that graph last time, because we voted somebody in doesn't mean that they're going to put things on the government table that is going to influence our lives, is going to more influence the people who are funding, which kind of it's a business transaction. So here, let's put some reasons out there as to why we should vote. I'm going to share my screen here so that we can see that. There we go.
Hello, I'm Jeff Sayer McCord. I'm a professor of philosophy at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill and the director of the university's Philosophy, Politics, and Economics program. Today, I thought I'd talk to you a little bit about voting. Suppose you're in a circumstance where you have the opportunity to participate in a large-scale civic election. You might reasonably ask whether you should vote, and if so, why? Let's start with what might be called a clear-eyed and cold-hearted view of voting. This is clear-eyed because it eschews appeals to romanticism. It puts to one side unfounded thoughts of one's vote influencing hordes of other people to vote in the same way you do. And it's cold-hearted because it takes as the relevant consideration the victory of one's favored candidate. On such an account, in large elections, there seems to be no reason to vote. At least that's the standard view, defended influentially by Anthony Downs in An Economic Theory of Democracy back in 1957, and by Mancur Olson in The Logic of Collective Action in 1965. On their view, you need to ask yourself, what's the probability that your vote will make a difference to victory? For any large election that's not expected to be close, the odds that your vote would be the one vote that makes a difference are vanishingly small. So if you have an alternative to voting, maybe watching a good movie, or doing a little more work, or getting the sleep you so desperately need, the reasons you have to do that vastly outweigh the reason you have provided by the vanishingly small chance that your vote would make a difference to the outcome. Of course, this assumes that the sole point of voting is to bring about an outcome. A natural place to turn is to warming the heart, to noticing that there are things you might care about other than the victory of a candidate. You might care to express your solidarity with others. You might be concerned to exercise your right to vote. You might hope to minimize regret so that even if your candidate lost, it wasn't because you failed to vote. You might just wish to express your support. Or you might just like wearing an "I voted" sticker. In any of these cases, you might find yourself independent of the prospects of your vote being decisive to the outcome, with reasons nonetheless to vote. Each of these concerns other than the victory of your preferred candidate, might well tip the balance, might well provide the reasons that make it make sense to cast your vote rather than watching a movie, doing a little more work, or sleeping in. Similarly, there may be some good arguments for thinking you have a duty to vote, irrespective of the contribution your vote would make to the victory of the candidate you favor. But before turning briefly to those, I'd like to move back to the thought that the reason one would have to vote comes from the role one's voting has in bringing about victory of your candidate. What I'd like to do is spend just a little time on an argument first offered by Alvin Goldman in Why Citizens Should Vote, a Causal Responsibility Account, and developed by Richard Tuck in his book Free Riding. An argument for thinking that, contra Downs and Olson and many, many others, our votes, even in large-scale elections in which we know our vote will not be decisive, our votes nonetheless make a causal difference to the outcome much more often than one might have thought. And that this causal difference our votes make means we have much more reason to vote than Olson, Downs, and those many others thought. Here is the Goldman-Tuck idea. In order for a vote to count as a cause of an outcome, it does not need to be necessary for that outcome. It doesn't need to be the vote without which victory would not have been secured. It need only be part of what in fact brought about the victory. Just to use simple numbers here, imagine an election that involves 1 million votes, and imagine that it's an election that a simple majority is sufficient for victory. In such a vote, the first 500,001 votes secures the victory, assuming there are two candidates. If your vote is among that 500,001 votes, you count, according to Goldman and Tuck, as being causally responsible for the victory of the candidate. That's true even if many more than the minimally sufficient set vote in the same way. Consider a landslide in which we anticipate 100,000 votes cast for candidate 1, 40,000 votes cast for candidate 2. In that case, 40,001 votes cast for candidate 1 are part of the minimally sufficient set for that candidate to win the election, even though 100,000 votes were cast for that candidate. Ex ante, that means the probability that one's vote for candidate 1 matters will be roughly 40%. Those are not vanishingly small odds that your vote will matter. Here's a way to put it. Olson and Downs' mistake, according to Goldman and Tuck, is not in thinking that what matters is whether one's vote causes the victory of your favored candidate. That's right. The mistake is in thinking that the only votes that play that role, that have that impact, that cause the victory, are those without which the victory would not have been secured. So their argument works by supposing it matters whether they are the cause of the victory and not just whether there's a victory. Notice the Goldman-Tuck view argues you can be part of a cause without being necessary for the effect. So that if all you are concerned with is the effect, their view of what it takes to be the cause of the effect will not provide any reason for you to vote. Suppose you come to the conclusion that for one reason or another, you do have reason to vote, perhaps a duty to vote. You might reasonably also ask, what else in trying to fulfill that duty might you have a duty to do? Might you have a duty to be informed? A way to think about this is on the slogan, anything worth doing is worth doing well. And so you might think if it's worth voting, it's worth being very informed about the candidates. But that's a very suspect thought. It seems as if there are a lot of things worth doing that are worth doing even if you don't do them particularly well. And you can't know of voting whether it's one of those without figuring out why you have a duty to vote. What role does voting play in the society of which you're a member? What does failing to vote say when you fail to vote, regardless of the outcome it fails to bring about? These are questions you must ask yourself when you're worried about whether you have reason to vote and why you have reason to vote and for which candidate you have reason to vote.
You're muted.
Yes. On that
You're
note,
unmuted.
yes,
This is
I'm
why
on mute.
you can see
Now,
we're live.
do you see that? Do you see that? Do you see the point there?
Oh yeah. Okay. So on
It's
that
a sum
point,
of everything.
on
It's
that
still being
point,
counted. Your vote is still being counted.
right. So he's talking about being informed,
Right.
which is important.
Okay.
So here's my addition to that, which is your illusion of choice, because there are 1,500 newspapers, 1,100 magazines, 9,000 radio stations, 1,500 TV stations, 2,400 publishers owned by 6 corporations.
Wow.
What choice am I getting if 6 corporations are telling me what I should be thinking through a million different ways of doing it?
But okay, all right. So I disagree in the sense where giving you information isn't telling you how to think.
Right.
Right.
But here's the deal.
Wait.
Who are you
How
getting
you
the information
process
from?
how you process the information, that's up to you. Now, if I keep telling you that an apple is red, right? And you're like, yeah, okay, I've seen an apple, the apple is red, until you go to the store and you see this green apple. And you're like, whoa. They didn't tell me
He's
about
lying again.
But was it lying, or is it the apples that you know of that are red? Right. And then you have to as you do your research, as you process the information, you find it there are other different types and colors of apples. So
Okay.
that's
So
really
let me go with I think it was Plato that wrote the allegory of the cave. If you don't know, the allegory of the cave is there's these 4 guys that have been chained in this cave their whole lives. They can't look left or right. They can only look forward. They've seen only shadows on the wall of what reality is. So everything is black and white, one-dimensional. One guy somehow escapes, goes out into the real world. He goes, oh my, there's colors, there's textures. The tree is green. It's not black.
Yeah.
It's, there's. So what's he do? He runs back into the cave and tells the guys, hey, I've seen the other side. This is what things look like. And the guys inside went, you're crazy and we have to kill you. So
Wow,
That's the
an extreme
problem.
reaction. That's an
Yeah,
extreme
well,
reaction.
because you've come to the majority with an idea that doesn't make sense to everything they've learned. So we'd rather kill you than have to go outside and look for ourselves to see what the reality is, which is, when we're talking about, if you repeat a lie long enough,
Mhm.
people will believe it.
But
So if your whole
does that
life,
mean ignorance is safety?
oh no, but it's like, who's controlling the ignorance is my point. So if you've learned your whole life, you've never seen an apple.
Mhm.
Everyone you've ever talked to says apples are purple.
Never
That's
seen
all
it.
you know.
Yeah.
An apple is purple. Someone comes to you with a red apple, you're going to say, that's not an apple. Then you're not going to say, whoa, there's a red apple. Everything you've ever learned is
Wow.
apples are purple. That's it. There's only one color.
And they've shown you
It's
pictures of
nothing
it.
else. Pictures, videos. You've watched TV programs of these purple apple trees your whole life. People actually grabbing purple apples. Everything is beautifully scripted.
Right.
And then, you get out of the cave and someone brings you a red apple. You're going to go, that's not an apple. I know apples are purple. My whole life, I've been told apples are purple. You have a fake apple.
All right. So what are we saying? What are we saying with that? Because it's like, everything, you could say anything and everything in life has that possibility of either a miscommunication or deception, versus, just kind of like trying to find out the truth on a subject. I mean, personally, I really just believe that perception affects your truth.
Right.
So a lot of times when I would read something, see something, experience it, it becomes real to me, but to you, it's a fantasy.
Right.
Right.
So
the guy that can afford.
We're New Yorkers, so we pretty much don't trust anything anyone says ever. So it's like, hey, an apple is
Even
red.
if it's you,
show it to me. Oh yeah, I don't believe myself either, half the time. So we're talking about programming, and this is why television programs. We are programmed by the media. Let me run. I'm going to run a little bit of Noam Chomsky's video on how the media distorts everything, and I'm going to play like a minute of it.
Can't hear it.
While Americans rely on it daily for the latest reports on world and domestic events, a recent study conducted by the Cronkite School of Journalism
Can't hear it.
nearly 67% of Americans don't trust major media for accurate reporting. Ask Americans specifically why they
Can't hear it.
and the answers are generally vague.
Can you hear it?
Nope.
Hold on one second. Let me do num 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 num.
You got to make sure you click that audio button.
Yeah, that's the one. Use
use computer or shared audio.
Speakers.
No. When you do the share, when you click share,
yeah.
Get out of share. 1 second.
Stop share.
So yeah, and then you're gonna go back
to,
and then there's a little box on the bottom.
Share computer sound. There we go.
There you go.
Boom.
On world and domestic events. The mainstream news media. While Americans rely on it daily for the latest reports on world and domestic events, a recent study conducted by the Cronkite School of Journalism indicates that nearly 67% of Americans don't trust major media for accurate reporting. Ask Americans specifically why they distrust.
58-minute video.
And the answers are
I'm only
generally
going to play like a
vague.
minute of it.
After all, reports of news media abuses aren't normally found on the front page or the nightly news. Nonetheless, they do exist. Dateline NBC, a primetime news program, airs a story in 1992 entitled Waiting to Explode. The story includes footage demonstrating that a line of trucks produced by General Motors readily explode on impact.
To see.
All right. So that am I still sharing? I gotta.
No, you're done. You're done. You stopped sharing it. All right.
it stop?
So no. All right. So here, look. As we know, and as we see, every news station, and this is what I talk about: perception, man. Perception is propaganda is built on perception. Marketing is built on perception. Sales is built. So we pull things together based on what we know and we feel is appealing to whatever audience we're talking to. So it's communication is such a complex thing that I could say something that is true and I've experienced it and it's true, but because you've experienced it differently, it's not true to you.
Because I'm in the cave and you've come in from the outside.
Right. Exactly. Right. So it's like, so we have to really be researchers on finding what we're looking for as far as truth goes. Right. We really have to be searchers of truth. Right. Searchers of what is that final answer? What is that going to look like in my world? And how does it apply to me? And how does it apply as a reality in itself?
Right. But you can't be lazy. You know, I do research by going on the internet and looking at the BBC. I'm looking at Australian news. I'm looking at other countries to see what they say we're doing, as opposed to what the 6 corporate giants tell me is going on.
Right.
So
the control
let me do my research, you know, and the thing that just came up now with Biden and the laptop, to have the social media giants say, you can't look at this story because we don't want you to. It's like, wait a minute. I would like that. I have to go out.
You're again, you know, you're just speculating, man.
No, I'm not listen.
Look.
The media giants.
If anybody came
down
into your house, to take your laptop and talk, I mean, all that is smoke.
Oh, they can come in. They just can't get out. That's a different story.
I think there's a ton of smokes and mirrors that are being thrown in the mix, right? I mean, just like with Hillary and emails, smokes and mirrors.
Man. Oh yeah, but my main point is our access to information.
Yeah,
we are limited.
You have to have access to information, but I'm just saying, like, watch out for the smoke and mirrors, because there's a ton of that. There's a ton of just like, if I want to distract you, we're like puppies. If I want to distract you from the man, oh, what's that?
Yeah, shiny object and squirrel. But my argument here is, we are supposed, and again, I said, you can't be lazy. You can't depend on what we're seeing here in this country. That's why I go outside of the country to have them look in.
Right.
And every single these other countries basically said the same thing. This is a country that was founded and pushes free information, and we have the First Amendment. But when something comes out that the media doesn't want you to know, they shut it down. It's like, wait a minute, the story broke that this laptop was left at a Mac shop with stuff on it, and you can't find out about it. Give me all the information. I'll say, yeah, you know what? That's a bunch of crap. But when I can't access the story because a media company says you shouldn't even ask questions about it, that's the scary part. Like, what else are they controlling? That was blatant. You know, I was like, no, we're shutting down the New York Post, founded by Alexander Hamilton. You can't see the story the Post wrote.
Listen. Why can't you get in? Why is it illegal to get in a government computer? Because if anybody in the government owns a laptop, It is government regulated and controlled.
Right.
Why?
But that wasn't a
would,
government laptop.
was that?
That wasn't a government. That was well, that was Hunter's laptop that he spilled the beer on.
Oh, wait, look. Okay. Anybody is if yes, there are public officials, but they are private. They have their own families. They have their own things that they're doing. Why would I want what's on my laptop with my wife's pictures and all this stuff? Why would I want to open that up to the public? I wouldn't want that.
Don't want to open it up. No, but here's the and
That's
again,
like-
you go back
that's-
to the
I mean,
go back to the story. It's not
isn't
a
privacy
why.
like that? Isn't privacy like that count for a government official too?
Yeah, but Hunter's not a government official.
No, but
He's a
his
private
dad
citizen.
is.
All right, but we're not dealing with his dad, the big guy. All right, we're dealing with a citizen dropping off a laptop in his whatever condition he was in, forgot where he put that laptop, and now is looking for it once the story broke. So you have the lawyers for Hunter saying, "We want our laptop back," which means, yeah, that's his laptop, and we want this back. So no one's ever said that isn't real. Now what the spin is, that's misinformation. It's like that is a and again, that whole story you have to get not from here. You have to go outside of the country to get the backstory to what's going on.
But how do you know that is the backstory?
Because
I mean,
the Australian news is saying a laptop dropped off by Hunter Biden was not paid for. They made attempts to find him and talk to him. He never picked it up. It was forfeited after 90 days because you own a business. I did something, it's like a pawn shop. If you don't come back and
Don't
pay for
claim
the
it,
item that you pawned, it's theirs. They can sell it. So this dude said, "Okay, I got this laptop. It wasn't paid for. What's in it?" And he goes, "Holy crap, there's some nasty stuff in here." So according to what they're saying from out of the country, he gave it to the FBI, made a copy of everything that was in there, and a year later said,
wow,
nobody's talking about this. Let me give what I gave the FBI a year ago to Giuliani's lawyer to see what he can do with it.
Man, listen.
So it's this fun rabbit hole.
Think about it this way. Right now, it's still somebody else's private property.
Not unless you give it. Go to a pawn shop and leave your $1,000 guitar there for 6 months.
So basically,
it's no longer yours.
So I tell you what. So let's say you bring your laptop over to Joe Blow's pawn shop,
right?
And you left it in there. God forbid you died. Okay, that's still the property of that. If you're saying that becomes the property of the pawn shop.
This is why I in my other life, I'm telling people about Legal Shield and make sure you have contracts that are signed and dated. And the contract on a pawn shop says, if you leave your gold-plated guitar here for 90 days and don't make payments on it, it's mine, and I can do whatever I feel like doing with it.
Okay.
So the contract at the Mac shop, because I get my laptops report, it's like, hey, if you don't pick it up, it's mine.
Now, what if it's the company that owns it doesn't want the information released? Because that has company, but that has company information that you don't want public. Why would I want to give why would I want to give if I was that company that Hunter, I mean, that even makes it even more irrelevant, because why would me as a Hunter Biden works for me. He left this computer with this pawn shop or whatever, or this repair shop.
He spilled beer on it. Well, here's the reason he brought it there is he spilled a beer on it or whatever, and it wasn't working. So
Okay.
it's like, hey, I need this. I need this to work.
What's the political agenda with spilling beer on a laptop and bringing it to be repaired? That is obviously an accident that happened,
Right.
and it's a company owned device. It wasn't his personal stuff. So if I as a company said, okay, one of my employees messed up my computer, but I don't want you going inside there to get any information. That is the
Then you should have
prerogative.
picked it up before 90 days, because the contract says after 90 days, this brick is mine.
Well, see, there you go. But I'm saying though, I could understand why a company would not want people, just jiving around and digging around that computer.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, I mean,
apparently
that's totally understood.
They didn't look around inside of it until it became there. They legally cannot, when I get my computer repaired, they log on, but the screen is black. I mean, you can't see anything on my desktop. The only thing you can do is go in there and fix whatever's broken. So they don't see what's on my desktop. But if I leave it and don't pick it up, those are the ones that are on. If you ever go to a computer place and you see them like laptop for sale, those are all property that have been abandoned.
That people.
So what am I going to do? What am I going to do with a laptop that's abandoned? I'm going to sell the damn thing. So to sell it, I got to clean out whatever's inside. No, as you're cleaning, you're going, holy crap, look what I'm finding. And if it is a government computer, why are there personal pictures on there? I mean, if I have an employee, like I give you my laptop, you better not put, an Amazon account on it.
You must have never gotten a company issued computer, because sometimes you put your family photo on there. Like you have it on rotation, so you put your family pictures. I mean, it becomes like you don't use it. You don't really use it for your personal use, but sometimes you have personal things on there.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't put a picture of me with a crack pipe in my face on the work computer.
I don't hold anything against you, Oscar.
You can do that, but I wouldn't put it on there. I'd keep it on my computer. But going back to the whole situation is, why do I have to go outside the country to get the nitty-gritty details on what's going on? Because we have
that's exactly my point. Who says that the influencers and the people that have the ties over there don't have a reason to put a spin on this story?
Okay, well, let me hear what is the spin that you're hearing?
Well, no, I'm just saying, I'm asking a curiosity question. Like, who's to say that if you hear a story from another country or somewhere else, because let's face it, we're in an internationally, we're in an international society. We have the internet now. All of us kind of like do business across the world. We talk to people across the world. So who's to say that there aren't people over in Yugoslavia somewhere that have a special interest in the story and want to make a spin of it?
There's nothing
doesn't
stopping
mean what they're saying is
there's
true.
nothing stopping them from doing it.
Right.
But when you're reading the same report that this is what happened today, this is what happened yesterday, this is what happened the day before, it's like, okay, this kind of makes sense. If you're getting different things from, I got a great video. I got to find it.
We got to go into what's coming up. So
the great video of what they did was they took, I think, 100 different news programs, played them all at the same time, all of them reading the same exact line.
Wow.
It's like, this is what mind control looks like. Mm-hmm. And they're all reading the same exact script from 100 different TV programs. And that goes back to my earlier video that they're controlled by 6 corporations. So you get one script played on all the channels.
But do you ever think that is because once a company, now let's say you have to think of release dates, right? If I am ABC, DEFG, right? Let's say I'm ABC, DEFG, and that's my channel. And I break the story.
Right.
Now, you can't, unless you get new information, if I'm correct, if I'm incorrect, somebody help me out, fix me with that. But based on what I understand is, and this is how the media world works, if I break the story, you basically, the pictures or the videos, you have to get it from me.
Right.
Right. And so because I have exclusive, rights to this story.
Right.
Okay, so the reason you would hear it repeated almost verbatim is because the entity that breaks the story is usually the entity that sells the story, right? And so
Right.
that's why you're going to hear almost like exact repetitions of it. And if you're going to be breaking the news, you want it to be accurate as the source that you got it from.
All right, but there's a difference between that and propaganda, which is what we were talking about before. Give me one quick minute to share this, because I did find a video. Watch this. This is scary.
And I'm Ryan Wolf.
Our greatest responsibility is to serve our Treasure Valley communities,
the El Paso, Las Cruces communities,
Eastern Iowa communities,
Mid-Michigan communities.
We are extremely proud of the quality, balanced journalism that CBS 4 News produces.
But we are concerned about troubling and irresponsible, one-sided news stories plaguing our country.
The sharing of biased and false news has become all too common on social media. More alarming, some media outlets publish these same fake stories without checking facts first.
The sharing of biased and false
news has become all too common on social media.
More alarming, some media outlets publish these stories without checking facts first.
Unfortunately, some members of the media use their platforms to push.
Okay, so
they're all reading the same script.
So think about it this way. Think about it this way. Who owns channel Pix 11? Pix 11 doesn't own its own self. That's
one of the six major corporations that own every single channel.
So basically, if you're sending a script out, if I'm channel, because I was looking at some of the different channels, if I'm channel 7 in New York, that doesn't mean this channel 7 in Florida is showing or is under the same name. They may have the Sunshine State, channel. You have the New York State channel. You are going to get the same script to certain things. I mean, they're not going to get different. They're not going to issue different scripts. You're going to get a writer that says, this is the story. Here's the script. The people that are reading it are reading from a prompter.
Right.
Okay, they don't come up with these introductions and endings in the same way. It's scripted, and in order for them to prevent from doing false reporting, they have to go by the script. For the most part, they go by what they're given, right, to read on the news. I mean, you don't want everybody being a renegade and coming up with new news every 5 minutes. So if it's under one company, they're going to issue it one way. They're going to say, we're going to break this news, and this is how we're going to break it, and we're going to send it to all our syndicated broadcasts, with that same script, right? Nobody breaks script. Now, if you come up with new evidence of the story, whoever breaks the story gets to sell the story, right? So it's like, breaking news from ABC. Okay, immediately, CNN, all these different, listen, we got to get on that story. Oh, based on what what ABC said today, boom, boom, boom. Everybody's now feeding off of each other's story and what each other is reporting.
Now, bring that up to the laptop scandal. It was broken by the Post.
New York Post, yes.
Who else has jumped on it to talk about it or to refute it or silence? In this country, nobody talks about it. They don't ask anyone associated with the Biden campaign. Hey, is this story true? Nothing. So it's not talked about. It's like, that didn't happen. Move on. What type of ice cream did you buy? That's not what I want. I want information. I want them to say,
we're running out of
what?
time,
That's
man.
not real. All right.
Yeah.
What's our next?
I'm looking at you like we are like, we are so late. We are so late.
All right. What are we up to now?
We are going to talk about what's coming up this week, man.
Richard Cusio,
share that.
Karen.
Yes.
All that good stuff.
Now, Richard, Richard, and
Cusio,
tell us a little.
Yes.
Yeah, he's going to be talking more about real estate tomorrow
Mm-hmm.
at 11 a.m. So we are going to be really talking about the real estate market. And for those of you who are not aware of what's going on in the real estate market, you really need to pay attention to this program tomorrow, because there is money to be made.
Ricky is he's a mortgage. I know he's a mortgage originator. He's in the mortgage companies, and I am refinancing my house through Richard. This is why I figured this is important. We ran the numbers through my accountant, and the accountant says this is a good deal. Mm-hmm. So right now that rates are super low, you really need to sit down with Richard or somebody like him and say, this is my interest rate now. What interest rate? This is the interest rate that I financed the house at. What's the interest rate now? Does it make sense to go through the process to refinance? And that is, and one thing we always talk about on your show is ask the experts.
Absolutely.
Don't just like, I don't know, I'll figure it out. No, ask the experts.
Yeah,
so Ricky's one expert coming up.
Rick is going to talk to us about, he's a mortgager, so he knows the numbers, guys, and we really want you to, this all of our programs, this whole station, this whole company is about empowering the people watching with more information to make your lives better. And so you can tap into the Legal Shield resource that Oscar has. You can give him a call on that. All of our contacts you see that come up here, they're on our Phoenix National Business Group page, website. So you can definitely catch up to that. Our PNN channel is going to be launched in November. So you really want to tap into that channel on Roku and Amazon TV. These programs will be running on there as well. So and eventually they're only going to be running on that channel. So if you like what you see and you want to hear more, we're going to get some exclusive guests when we get our Phoenix National channel. And so you don't really want to miss that. You want to make sure you jump on top of it. If you are an organization, time to do a plug. If you're an organization or a church or a place of worship, you have your own business, you have your own ideas of a program, concerts, whatever you do, if you want to broadcast it on our channel, you just have to give us a call, 914-297-PNBG. All right, we'll be looking forward to hearing from you there. Okay, so now we have Roots of Leadership that will be coming up tomorrow at 1 p.m. with Karen Mayo.
Is she going to be on the links for this, or is she going to be in studio?
She's going to be in studio for that. She's going to be in studio for that. So you want to make sure you catch that. On next Tuesday, we have Mona Ostrowski, Via Monaro. Okay, that's her company. She's a life coach. She's going to be talking about just different principles of being successful in your business and in your life. Again, we have Legal Rights with Oscar Capel.
And we're going to be talking about business.
I'm like, what I love about Legal Shield, it's on an app. You can have a lineup of attorneys just based on an app that you have on your phone. Incredible. I'm glad whoever came up with that idea is genius.
Welcome to the 21st century.
Exactly, right? You know how it is. Also, we have Justine Clay, who is a business coach. So for those of you who are interested in starting your business, you don't want to miss that, because that's going to be exceptional. And that's going to be tomorrow. No, that's going to be next Tuesday. That's going to be next Tuesday at 12 p.m. So you don't want to miss that. Justine Clay. Next week, Wednesday, the 28th, we're going to have Building Business with Ramona Thomas. Okay, Building Business Credit with Ramona Thomas. Oh, yeah. If you would like to learn how to do that, that's going to be the program to catch. If you're looking to start your own business, next week is the time to tune in and see what we offer there as well. Then we have Frank Coppola talking about changing your focus. He's on focus this time around, so you need to tap into that. If you don't have if your focus isn't straight, then you're going to get distracted a lot, and eventually you won't get to where you're going. So you have to kind of stay focused. Grab that GPS.
That focus GPS.
Yeah, that focus GPS. And the final day would be on the 29th. And we have Ramona that's going to be on at 11, again, with Building Business Credit. And also Frank again at 12. So we're very excited about the lineup that we have this time around for you. And we expect that it's going to be a great and exciting time. Looking forward to seeing you then. So we're going to sign out with our exit video. Anything you'd like to say before we go, Oscar Capel?
Looking forward for this week coming up. Is a lot of business stuff, and then we will work our way into November, where we're going to be doing health and fitness again.
No, November is relationship month.
Relationship, cool.
Yes, that's right. We're going to do relationships in November, and we're going to be on our channel in November as well. So we want to make sure, we're keeping that live and hot and live. You know, we want to make sure that everybody gets a touch of that. So here we go. Boom. There we go. You're seeing the screen, right?
Hi, my name is Philip Reed, and I am the President and CEO of Phoenix National Business Group. Today, I'm going to give a presentation as to what my company does, what we stand for, and what we are about. Phoenix National Business Group is an online marketing, media, and production company that produces websites, professional social media platforms, and online video productions for companies, places of worship, and entrepreneurs. Our programs also includes a unique series of talk shows and online events that empower the public with information that will improve their lives, with positive, uplifting messages reflecting the love of God and His vision of grace and restoration for the world. We have and are pulling together a network of entrepreneurs and leaders that seek to change the world with the fundamental belief that without hope, dreams die. Not only do we develop and produce these programs, we also establish platforms for distribution through our social media presence, which has thousands of viewers throughout the internet. We also have our own channel, PNN, Phoenix National Network, that goes out to millions of people across the world on Roku and Amazon TV. Our Our motto is, when you win, we win, because we believe in helping normal people and businesses do extraordinary things by developing, creating, and publishing their ideas to the world. This is what Phoenix National Business Group does, and we do it proudly. If you would like more information about the services and products that we offer, please feel free to visit our website at phoenixnationalbusinessgroup.com, or you can give us a call at 914-297-PNBG. That is 914-297-7624. We do look forward to hearing from you, and see you soon. Phoenix National Business Group is now offering their online services on Roku and Amazon TV for only $99.99 per month. This is a limited time offer, so give us a call at 914-297-7624 for more information, or visit our website at phoenixnationalbusinessgroup.com. That is phoenixnationalbusinessgroup.com. See you soon.